Philadelphia Eagles have been a team full of potential this season, yet watching them struggle on the offensive side of the ball has been frustrating for fans across the country. With Week 14 approaching, the cracks in this unit have become more glaring than ever. While Kevin Patchello remains the offensive play caller, it's not just him who carries the burden for the team's offensive struggles. Jalen Hurts, the quarterback, who should be the centerpiece of this offense, has struggled to process the game effectively in recent matchups. Since the bye week, his performance has been inconsistent at best. Against the Dallas Cowboys, he faltered in the second half, failing to make the plays needed to secure a win. The week before, against the Green Bay Packers, his decision-making and processing left much to be desired. Even in the matchup with the Detroit Lions, Hurts seemed off, and by the time the Eagles faced the Chicago Bears, he was missing throws and failing to read defenses properly. The quarterback is the engine of any offense, and while a talented coordinator can elevate a quarterback's performance, Kevin Patchello has not managed to provide that boost this season. Hurts, however, is not entirely blameless. The throws that are missing, the reads that are late, all come down to him executing under pressure, and right now that execution is lacking. Then there's the offensive line, which has been a major disappointment considering the investments made by the front office. Players like Jordan Mailata, Lane Johnson, Cam Jurgens, and Landon Dickerson are among the highest paid at their respective positions. Yet this season they've struggled to consistently create space for the running game or provide solid protection for Hurts. Injuries have plagued Lane Johnson, further weakening the line, and the results have been evident on the field. Run blocking has been nearly non-existent, limiting Saquon Barkley's ability to gain meaningful yards before contact, and pass protection has shown the same vulnerabilities seen in prior years. The offensive line, meant to be the foundation of the Eagles' attack, has instead exposed the vulnerabilities of the team, making each play far more challenging than it should be. The Eagles' inability to establish the run has compounded their problems. Barkley's vision and execution have been off, but even more concerning is the lack of explosive plays and the insufficient yards gained before contact. In recent games, including the one against the Bears, Barkley was underutilized in critical situations, receiving fewer than 15 carries despite conditions favoring a strong running approach. The lack of commitment to the run game has left the offense one-dimensional, predictable, and easily contained by opposing defenses. Execution and penalties have been ongoing issues as well. Players have repeatedly cited missed assignments, failed blocks, and a general lack of attention to detail. Penalties have consistently pushed the Eagles into unfavorable positions, often leading to third-and-long situations that stifle momentum. Their offensive efficiency on third down has been among the worst in the league, and the repeated failures to convert have put unnecessary pressure on the offense. With a roster full of talented skill players, these struggles are even more pronounced and difficult to excuse. The scheme and play calling have also left much to be desired. While Patchello bears some responsibility, the system itself, designed by head coach Nick Sirianni, has not been innovative or aggressive. Route concepts are limited and predictable, and the offense has often relied on individual talent rather than creative scheming. The Eagles rarely design plays to free up their stars. Instead, they rely on players to win matchups against increasingly sophisticated defenses. Compared to other NFL teams, where coordinators like Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, and Ben Johnson use motion, misdirection, and pre-snap adjustments to create openings, the Eagles' approach looks dated and insufficient. Even small adjustments, like pre-snap motion to identify coverage, have been slow and largely ineffective, leaving the offense struggling to adapt when defenses counter. Throughout the season, Hurts' play calling rhythm has been inconsistent, and his execution has reflected that uncertainty. Watching other quarterbacks and coordinators operate, it's clear that a consistent feel and tempo can significantly enhance offensive performance. The Eagles, however, have struggled to establish that rhythm, resulting in hesitation, missed opportunities, and overall inefficiency. With the talent on this roster, including Hurts, Barkley, A.J. Brown, Javonte Smith, and Dallas G.D., the lack of production has been shocking. The Eagles rank near the bottom of the league in success rate, producing positive plays at a rate lower than some of the NFL's worst teams, a statistic that underscores the severity of their offensive struggles. Despite calls from fans and analysts to make a change, Pacello remains at the helm. While frustration runs high, Sirianni has expressed confidence in evaluating the offense and implementing changes where needed. He has acknowledged the necessity for improvement and hinted at potential adjustments to the scheme and play calling moving forward. The question remains whether these tweaks will be enough to unlock the offensive potential that seems trapped beneath layers of inefficiency and mismanagement. Some immediate solutions could include incorporating Hers more into the running game. Design quarterback runs, read options, and draws could open up easy yardage, sustain drives, and complement Barkley's running lanes. Increasing tempo, as seen in previous successful outings, could also help Hers process faster, make quicker decisions, and generate sustained momentum. Furthermore, integrating more plays under center and varying the run-pass balance could challenge defenses to adjust in real time, creating opportunities for explosive plays and reducing predictability. It's clear that the Eagles possess the talent to compete at the highest level, but the execution, scheme, and decision-making have yet to align with the roster's potential. From offensive line struggles to questionable play calling, each element has contributed to an underwhelming season for a team many expected to dominate. Fans are watching, waiting for the spark that will ignite this offense, hoping that adjustments from the coaching staff and better decision-making from the players can reverse the downward trend and put the Eagles back on the path to contention. With Week 14 approaching, the spotlight is on how this offense adapts, adjusts, and responds under pressure, and whether the team can finally harness the talent that has long promised so much but delivered so little. Looking ahead, the Eagles have to face some hard truths if they want their offense to regain credibility. While the talent is undeniable, from Jalen Hurts' arm to Saquon Barkley's explosive ability and A.J. Brown's game-breaking speed, the system and execution have consistently failed to capitalize on these strengths. One glaring issue has been the hesitancy on the field. Hurts, who once dazzled with his processing and accuracy, now appears cautious, perhaps overthinking each read instead of trusting his instincts. This hesitation has resulted in missed opportunities, incomplete passes, and drives that stall before they even have a chance to build momentum. The offensive line struggles have compounded this, as Hurts often faces pressure that forces hurried throws or prevents him from fully executing the play. When a quarterback loses confidence in his protection, it's like a chain reaction. Timing gets off, receivers are left in jeopardy, and the offense as a whole looks out of sync. Saquon Barkley, while one of the league's premier backs, hasn't been fully supported either. The inability of the line to consistently create running lanes has limited his effectiveness, making plays that would normally gain 10 or 15 yards look much smaller. The lack of explosive opportunities from Barkley has also allowed defenses to focus on the passing game without fear of being punished on the ground. In games like the recent match against the Bears, it was painfully clear that if Barkley had been given more carries and designed runs, the Eagles could have maintained possession, controlled the clock, and forced the defense to adjust. Yet, too often, the offensive strategy ignores these advantages, leaving players to compensate individually rather than within a cohesive system. Penalties and execution errors have further frustrated this unit. From missed assignments to personal fouls, the Eagles have consistently undermined themselves, erasing positive plays and putting the team in unfavorable down-and-distance situations. On third down, the offense has struggled to convert, not for lack of talent, but because they find themselves too often in situations where the odds are stacked against them. Long yardage situations, created by either penalties or failed plays on earlier downs, make sustaining drives nearly impossible. The rhythm of an offense is disrupted by these setbacks, and the Eagles have suffered the consequences week after week. Another recurring problem has been the predictability of the play calling. While Pacello remains in charge, the lack of creativity and adaptability in the scheme has been evident. Compared to other teams in the league, where offensive coordinators utilize pre-snap motion, misdirection, and innovative route combinations, the Eagles' approach has often appeared rigid and outdated. The offense rarely forces defenses to adjust or hesitate. Instead, it relies on individual talent to win matchups in isolation, an approach that is unsustainable at the highest level. When elite defenses, well-prepared and disciplined, face this strategy, it becomes apparent why the Eagles have struggled to generate consistent success despite their roster advantages. The timing and feel of the offense also need attention. In past seasons, teams with high-performing quarterbacks operate with a rhythm that allows quick decisions, predictable timing, and smooth transitions between plays. This rhythm has been inconsistent in Philadelphia. Hers often appears to hesitate, waiting for the perfect read that never fully develops. Receivers are sometimes left hanging, blocking assignments are missed, and the tempo needed to maintain pressure on opposing defenses is absent. When the Eagles have successfully used up-tempo drives earlier in the season, the results were clear. Hers performed better, Barkley found more lanes, and the passing game opened up significantly. Yet these successful patterns have not been consistently applied, leaving fans and players alike frustrated. The coaching staff faces tough decisions if they want to see meaningful improvement. Even though Patchelo has remained in his role, there are opportunities to innovate within the existing framework. Incorporating designed quarterback runs, implementing more RPOs to force defensive adjustments, and mixing in plays under center could introduce unpredictability and relieve some pressure from Hers and Barkley. The Eagles have the personnel capable of executing such plays, but it requires flexibility and a willingness to adapt to the challenges presented by each defense. Without these adjustments, the offense risks remaining stagnant, predictable, and ultimately inefficient. The talent on the Eagles roster is undeniable, which makes the offensive struggles all the more puzzling. A.J. Brown, Javonte Smith, and Dallas G.D. offer explosive options in the passing game. Yet if the offensive line cannot provide protection and the scheme does not create separation, these weapons are underutilized. Barkley's contributions, while still impactful at times, are limited by poor blocking and lack of creative run designs. Hers' decision-making and processing issues are exacerbated by these structural problems, leaving the offense in a cycle of mediocrity that must be broken if the Eagles are serious about competing for a Super Bowl this season. Beyond the tactical and schematic issues, there is a mental and emotional component to consider. Players need to believe in the system, in the calls being made, and in their ability to execute effectively. If confidence erodes, hesitation increases, and mistakes become more frequent. Watching Hers look lost on the field, especially in critical situations, signals a lack of faith in the system or perhaps frustration with its limitations. Building trust between the players and the coaching staff, as well as instilling confidence in the play calling, is essential to unlocking the potential that remains on this roster. Recent games have highlighted just how far the Eagles are from operating at peak efficiency. Success rate, third down conversion, yards per carry, and overall offensive production have all lagged behind expectations, despite having one of the most talented rosters in the league. Comparisons to teams with less talent emphasize the magnitude of the problem. Production is not matching potential, and incremental adjustments have not been sufficient to overcome systemic shortcomings. The offense needs both micro-level changes in play design and execution, as well as macro-level adjustments in strategy and philosophy to regain its footing. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers are echoing through the NFL world, and Philadelphia fans might want to buckle up. The rumor mill is buzzing with an explosive potential move. The Eagles could be on the verge of one of the most jaw-dropping acquisitions in recent memory. Sources suggest that the team is targeting a double shakeup of historic proportions, with both Javonte Williams and Dak Prescott reportedly leaving the Cowboys to land in Philadelphia. If true, the implications for the Eagles will be seismic. Dak Prescott, long considered a cornerstone of Dallas offense, brings a combination of leadership, arm strength, and savvy game management that any team would covet. Pair him with Javonte Williams, a running back known for his explosive bursts and punishing style, and suddenly the Eagles' offensive arsenal looks dangerously versatile. The idea of pairing Prescott's pinpoint accuracy with Williams' downhill power running is a nightmare for opposing defenses, a 1-2 punch that could redefine the team's offensive identity. The chatter around the league suggests that talks have been intense, with front offices reportedly in constant contact over potential trade logistics and contract negotiations. Analysts are speculating on everything from salary cap gymnastics to playbook adjustments, imagining how the Eagles could integrate two high-profile players mid-season. Social media has exploded with mock-ups of Prescott in midnight green and Williams barreling through defenses for the Eagles, and the fan base can't stop imagining the possibilities. Even rival teams are reportedly keeping a close eye, sensing that Philadelphia's ambition might be reaching an entirely new level. The Cowboys' locker room, meanwhile, is said to be in a state of cautious uncertainty, as whispers of departures from two of their key offensive pieces spread like wildfire. Coaches, agents, and insiders all seem to agree. If this move comes to fruition, it could alter the NFL landscape in ways few could have anticipated. For now, it's all rumor and speculation, but the buzz is undeniable. Philadelphia might be on the cusp of a transformative shakeup, one that could have the entire league holding its breath. The thought of Dak Prescott throwing to new targets while Javonte Williams powers through defenses is enough to get fans dreaming big and pundits recalculating their projections. The NFL offseason has seen its fair share of shocks, but a double swoop of this magnitude, that'll be something the football world will be talking about for a long, long time. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.